Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about 2 reasons why recently former obese people should worry about regaining their weight. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, which has hundreds of articles and recipes, my 2 books, my podcast, The Awakened Man, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. Now, I don't mean this episode to be a downer in any way, shape, or form, but I want to be a realist in that, as I've mentioned before, weight maintenance is harder than weight loss. And why is that? Well, because most people have the forbearance to be able to crash diets or to adhere to a diet regimen that maybe long-term is not feasible or palatable. But when there's a will, there's a way, and they can do it, and you blink and you've lost the weight and you feel great. But now what? Now what do? Now you got to figure out how to maintain it. And I talk about it in this series, Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior, which is 30 episodes. The transition it took for me to get that mindset, to change the paradigm, because I lost my weight in 1991 pretty fast. I wouldn't say really fast, but it was less than a year that I lost over 100 pounds. And at the time, I didn't think, oh, now how am I going to keep this off? I was just like, oh, I'm petrified to regain this weight, because it's like the novel Flowers for Algernon. You're given this kind of gift. You have this vision of what your world can be like. You don't want it to go away, obviously. So I'm going to give 2 reasons why the recent weight loss do need to worry. And it's not to instill fear or to make you think that I'm a hater and I don't want you to succeed. Of course I want you to succeed. But you got to be a realist. And the most daunting thing is the statistics. The statistics are not on your favor. The statistics are about 80 to 85% of people who lose more than 50 pounds regain it and gain more back. So the odds are not in your favor to be one of those 15 to 20%, like me. And again, I'm not saying that to be like me, just the stats are not in your favor. So I think have the expectation that you're going up a cliff, or you're going up a hill, and hopefully you won't jump off the cliff, but you're going up a hill. And I think if you go in with that mindset, I think it is a positive mindset, because you realize I'm gonna have to keep working. And this isn't like some surefire easy thing, because if you think it is, you're probably going to gain your weight back. So knowing the statistic helps. And why is that statistic true? Well, that goes in number 2. Whatever you use likely to lose the weight is something that is not tenable in the long run. And I don't mean to cast aspersions on these diet plans, because some of you are beholden to them like a religion, because understandably so, you lost weight using their systems. But let me tell you, most systems and most people who stick to I would say a puritanical diet, it's just not long-term tenable. And you'll go back to your old habits. So whether it's a carnivore diet, look, I get it. A lot of people have lost weight doing a keto carnivore diet. I get it. And it can be very effective in losing the weight. But your whole life of not eating bread, your whole life of not having pasta, donuts, pastries, it's just not tenable. Now, some of you who have used that diet will be, you don't know what you're talking about, Greg. You're wrong, and because it's your religion. And I get it, right? Because you're beholden to this idol, so to speak, because this idol helped you lose weight. I totally understand it. But let me tell you, somebody who's been on the other side doing it for 30 something years, any diet where you have to eliminate things from your life is not sustainable. So if you go the other way and do vegan, let me tell you, we have an episode on that, maybe 2 weeks ago I did it. Typically not sustainable. If you have a diet that is gluten-free, unless you have celiac disorder, but just you're choosing to go celiac-free, probably isn't sustainable. And most importantly, the biggest mistake is going back to the standard American diet. The standard American diet, of course, is tons of middle aisle grocery foods, pesticides that are shot into your produce, antibiotics and growth hormones shot into your meat and your poultry and your seafood and so forth. Going back to that, you're going to regain the weight. So you might have had the short-term discipline to get off the standard American diet, and whether it was keto or paleo or some sort of vegetarian. Yeah, people can do that for several months. But several months ain't 20 years. Several months ain't 10 years. Several months ain't 5 years. And so what you have to do is get to a system that works for you. And in my humble opinion, again, this channel is all about what's worked for me. It's a diet where you still can pretty much eat anything. Just you don't want to be drinking a lot of sodas. I would tell you don't drink sodas at all, but it's a place where there's got to be moderation. And there's a place where you have to change your paradigm. It goes back to the number one episode I did here. You got to change your paradigm. So a lot of people won't change their paradigm. They don't like working out. They do the Staring American diet, and then they look in the mirror one day and they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so they suck it up. They do work out. They do change their diet from one of the aforementioned. They lose the weight. They get to the weight they want. And then now what? Now what? Now they start slacking. We have an episode here. When you're obese, you can't have cheat meals. You can't have cheat days. You can't. And we have an episode here, like, what's the fundamental difference between weight maintenance and weight loss? There is a difference in terms of the mindset. And the reason why people regain the weight is because they don't change their paradigm. They don't adapt. They don't adapt to something that is maintainable, that is tenable for the rest of your life. So really think about that. So in closing, guys, understand the stat. And again, I don't mean to be a downer. Use the stat to motivate you. Oh, you think I'm going to be one of those 80%? Screw you, karma. I'm going to work my butt off, because weight loss and weight maintenance is 1,000 little things done every day, 1,000 little accomplishments done every day. And certainly it helps if you've purged the childhood trauma that made you out of a disordered relationship with food in the first place. But it's 1,000 little things, whether it be the sleep you get, lowering your stress, fasting, biohacking with dry saunas, mixing up your workouts, making good dietary choices, and all these things. It's 1,000 little things. So identify the fact that yes, it is gonna be an uphill battle for you to keep it off, because the statistics bear that out, brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm not making this stuff up. So understand what the enemy is. Understand who the enemy is. Understand you're still behind enemy lines, but understand that you can't accomplish it. But you must change your paradigm. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.